Today we're going to the San Pedro House on the San Pedro River in the San Pedro Valley. Come along with us as we take a stroll along the river and see all the beautiful scenery and greenery that's there. San Pedro House is a historic ranch house restored by the Friends of the San Pedro River, a volunteer, non-profit organization dedicated to the conservation and restoration of the river through advocacy, education, and interpretation. The Friends of the San Pedro River operates a gift and bookstore inside the house and leads guided interpretive walks and hikes along the river and throughout the adjacent area. At the time this was filmed, the gift and bookstore was closed due to COVID restrictions, but a volunteer was on site to hand out maps, provide historical and nature information, and answer questions. The American Bird Conservancy has identified the San Pedro House as being significant for world bird conservation and officially designated a globally important bird area. This is a huge draw for bird watchers from all over the world. Cottonwoods grow very quickly in favorable conditions and are very abundant throughout the riparian area. The riparian forest, one of the most endangered forest types in the world, is a stark contrast to the adjacent fields, which are abandoned agricultural fields used for growing alfalfa and other feed for cattle. Kingfisher Pond was created years ago when this area was a sand and gravel quarry. The large hole created by the operation eventually filled up with groundwater and floodwater. There are no surface inlets or outlets. Here you can see that it is completely dry due to the current drought. Recent monsoon rains may have changed that, however. The San Pedro River is one of only two major rivers that flow north out of Mexico and is the last large undammed river in the southwest. The river originates 10 miles south of the international border and flows 140 miles in Arizona to its confluence with the Gila River. Increasing human demands for water, for both domestic use and irrigation, is lowering the water table. Now, parts of the San Pedro River are no longer perennially flowing. We hiked an easy 1.5 mile loop at the house, but there are many miles of trails throughout the 57,000 acres of public land that make up the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area. Well, y'all, that was our visit to San Pedro River, San Pedro House, and San Pedro Valley. We really hope you enjoyed coming along with us. Maybe one day you can make this a destination. Till our next adventure. See you then.